he sat here opposite me. Man's got balls, and in today's society, in this boxing game, there's a big lack of balls. And you know who you are, these people who...
To be a little bit crazy. And I think that's not just me, I think that's in every vertical and every discipline. You do something, you have to be a little bit crazy and obsessed with what...
Trilogy.
You want it still?
Listen, greedy belly, give me $1 billion, you take...
And I'm a HMS destroyer. So when you got two heavy forces colliding with massive bombs, and guess what? Someone's getting knocked out. That's all I'm saying, you know. If he lands a punch on me, a big swing, I'm getting knocked out. If I land a big swing on him,
Tyson Fury that wants to run it back with Usyk. He thinks in his mind he won those first two fights. You know, I don't, but they were close fights. And, you know, every fighter wants to try and avenge a defeat. I don't think anyone's really interested in that fight. And you know, obviously the fight that I want, and I think the...
In what Tyson do, it's as a normal Tyson Fury, every time a lot of speak, hey, you bodybuilder, you sausage, you blah blah blah, you blah 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 blah. Yeah, but we joke. Yeah, Tyson say, I ready fight trilogy with Usyk. We yeah, you know. Hey, listen, you last time say Usyk will be say, if you want trilogy with me, you must say please, please. Hey, greedy, please.
in the world, and we're going to have a fight, and that's it. Going to be a good fight too, because he don't shy away, and I'm running nowhere. So,
Oleksandr Usyk is the Rico Verhoeven in boxing.
Yeah.
So like he's been dominating for so long and in such phenomenal fashion. So I was like, wow, if we could do this, that would be like the cherry on the cake.
I think, you know, I always love a trilogy, and I believe that Tyson Fury is coming a lot more serious in this fight. He's, you know, he wants to win. Oleksandr Usyk now, I can't go against him. He hasn't lost yet, so you know, he's a very positive and great fighter, and he moves
like very calculated. But yeah, when I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of weight behind these punches. So yeah, of course, within the kickboxing sport, I was used to just throwing the kicks and doing my thing. But now we get the opportunity to use the hands more. So Peter is like, oh, he's like crazy.
Tyson Fury just completely lost it at a press conference, and it wasn't even his event. He stormed in, hijacked the entire thing, and started screaming at Usyk about fighting the wrong opponent. The chaos that followed, absolutely unhinged.
For a long time, and not really done much in boxing at all to warrant a shot at Oleksandr Usyk when there's a queue so big. And
indeed,
you know what I mean. And that's the most important thing. The people who are sitting waiting for their shot in line are going to be fuming over this. Some would say, to counter that argument, Usyk's probably earned the right to have an easy.
Here's what went down. Usyk was there promoting his crossover fight with kickboxing legend Rico Verhoeven. Standard press conference stuff. Then Fury shows up unannounced and starts questioning everything. "You should be fighting me," he's yelling. "Rico's nothing special."
And I can see how the monetization vehicle of this works, but Usyk wouldn't be doing this unless there's a reason for it. There must be a motivation behind it. It must be some form of derivative as to what happens between the various disciplines crossing over with Ngannou.
But here's where it gets wild. Usyk doesn't even flinch. While Fury's having a complete meltdown, Usyk just sits there calm as ice. Then he drops this bomb. "You want attention? Bring me $1 billion and we'll talk trilogy." Ice-cold response to pure chaos.
This kid's had one bout as a professional boxer. You go, so, you know, how can he jump the queue and box Oleksandr Usyk for the WBC title? To me, that doesn't make any sense at all, and I think it makes a mockery, again, of the WBC.
Fury doubles down immediately. "Someone's getting knocked out when we fight," he promises. The man's confidence is through the roof, but you can see the frustration eating him alive. He wants Usyk's full attention, and instead he's watching him chase crossover money.
Rico wanted the fight. You know, Usyk wanted it. They said both ultimate fighting men, aren't they? So fights like this are not going to be hard.
Now here's what nobody's talking about. Rico Verhoeven isn't some random kickboxer looking for a payday. This guy dominated heavyweight kickboxing for years. Multiple world championships, elite striking power, but boxing, that's a completely different beast.
Oleksandr Usyk steps in and will take on one of the greatest kickboxers of all time. I'm actually quite a big kickboxing fan, so I know quite a lot about him. I've watched a few of his fights over the years. They used to call him the Prince of Kickboxing, and then he elevated to the King of Kickboxing. I mean, he's a very, very, very good kickboxer who's got decent hands, I can't lie.
Lennox Lewis breaks it down perfectly. Usyk's still unbeaten, still sharp, still dangerous, but Fury's hungrier than ever for that rematch. Lewis sees this as a chess match between two heavyweight masterminds. The tactical battle could be insane.
This is the real kickboxing king, a heavyweight undisputed champion that's reigned for 12 years plus, you know, at the top. So he's fought everybody. So now, you know, he's had every kind of challenge, you know, he's come through that, and with him being around me in boxing as well for so long, and knowing that he
Rico explains his game plan with serious confidence. When I land clean shots, they carry damage. He's been training boxing for months, adapting his hands-only approach. The kickboxing legend thinks his power translates perfectly to the squared circle.
I've earned the right to do what you want, but I at least expected it to be some sort of active boxer, someone of some... Not to say I don't actually know much about Van Hooven in terms of a kickboxer, what his quality level is, but what I'm saying is I expected it to be someone of a decent caliber of a professional boxer. But if it's not, then fine. Look, do your thing, do you, and hopefully he returns to actual professional boxing against some of the...
But listen to this criticism. Paul Smith is furious about the whole situation. Other contenders worked years to earn their shot, he argues. Why does a kickboxer with limited boxing experience get to skip the line? The heavyweight division politics are getting messy.
This is a joke. This is nothing but a gimmick fight, and it's even more shameless considering the fact, one, it's on pay-per-view, and two, it's for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Does Rico Verhoeven, with his one win over a decade ago against the guy who was 0-5, deserve a world title shot? Answers on a postcard. Can you play the recorder? No. That's the answer. This is shocking. Shocking stuff from Oleksandr Usyk. This is Oleksandr Usyk picking money over legacy.
Simon Jordan sees the business angle clearly. There's deeper motivation here beyond sport, he points out. Crossover fights equal massive money. Usyk wouldn't take this fight without calculating every angle. The financial incentives are driving everything.
All right, it's going to be Verhoeven's second professional boxing match. But guys, Verhoeven is 6'5", 270, and he is like the dominant champion in kickboxing. I used to watch kickboxing all the time. Growing up, if there was no boxing on TV way before the UFC, they'd like ESPN to have kickboxing on. I used to watch it, right? Chris, you have fought. Now look, it is not boxing. It's
Spencer Oliver goes even harder with the criticism. This disrupts the natural order of boxing, he argues. Rico's got one professional boxing win from over a decade ago. How does that earn you a world title shot? The governing bodies are catching serious heat. Here's the kicker, though. Peter Fury confirms both fighters genuinely want this challenge. It's not just politics or hype. These are two elite athletes willing to risk everything at the highest level. That makes it legitimately dangerous for both men. But the real controversy, critics are calling this a complete joke. Shameless gimmick fight, they're saying. Usyk's picking money over legacy. When you're ranked #1 heavyweight in the world, every decision gets scrutinized like this. So here's the situation. Usyk's staying calm while Fury loses his mind. Rico's preparing for the biggest test of his career, and the entire heavyweight division is in complete chaos. This isn't just about one crossover fight anymore. This is about power, money, and who controls the heavyweight narrative. My question for you, is Usyk making a smart business move or damaging his legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button if this breakdown helped you understand the drama, and subscribe because this heavyweight chaos is just getting started.